I'm Sherry Schock. I'm the Executive Director at the Institute for Excellence in Education. IEE is a nonprofit organization that provides professional development and coaching to teachers and school leaders around the world. We're launching our podcast called The Principalship, The Worst Job I Ever Loved. The principalship is the hardest job I've ever had, and I've had a few difficult jobs. I started my work life making burgers your way at Burger King and then catapulted to the world of sales, offering free lawn care inspections at True Green Lawn Care over the telephone. So when I say the principalship is hard, no, I'm comparing the job of leading a school to blazing hot summers in front of the fryer and long hours being cursed at over the phone for interrupting family time. Come to think of it, maybe those jobs were exactly what I needed to be prepared for the principalship. Slinging hash kept me humble. You know, the principal must be ready to do every job the school needs done at the drop of a hat. And telemarketing prepared me to deliver bad news to families about their child's behavior. Never thought of it that way. The truth is, the principalship is the hardest job I've ever had, and it was the most rewarding. I would not have traded that professional experience for any other learning experience I've had in my 30 years of education. Even though it was hard, even though I cried alone in my car on more than one occasion, regularly, even though I was so severely stressed I ate my feelings and used Diet Coke to jolt me awake, it was the hardest and the most rewarding job I have ever had. Principals are fleeing the profession. The unbearable hours, the disgruntled parents, the teacher shortage, the increased demands for paperwork, testing, and virus scanning have many long-term principals considering their options, looking for and taking their exit ramp, sometimes years before they believed they would, sometimes before they're eligible for retirement, sometimes just to keep their sanity. But I believe there is a way to maintain your sanity, excel in a profession that has an everlasting impact on the world, and feel good about yourself and your work at the end of every day. This podcast is meant to help shed light on some of the most challenging dilemmas we face as the principal of a school, to help guide thought processes as you experience the challenges of leading in this time, and help you find balance so that you can stay. I told you I cried a lot. We will cry together. But in the end, I always learn to laugh at myself. So it's my hope that in all of this, we find the energy to laugh at ourselves and to be the leaders the kids of today need us to be. So let's get started so you can stay. What do I know about being a principal anyway? I mean, really, when I was hired for my first administrative job, the answer was nothing. I can look back now at the 10 years I spent in school administration and admit the first years I was struggling to know how to respond to situations, which landmines to tackle and which ones to avoid. I struggled to find the balance between being paralyzed by fear of doing the wrong thing or being so mission-driven I could throw caution to the wind. I moved into administration in a large middle school in Michigan. I had 9 years of teaching experience, 2 in the same building, where an assistant principalship position opened up. I had a master's degree in administration, and I kept telling myself I had no business applying for the job. But something inside pushed me. I had a passion for helping kids learn. I was knowledgeable about middle school practices. I had built good relationship with the teachers and the administrators at the school. And I was leading building school improvement efforts. I was a little bored with teaching and could not see myself living out the next 20 years lesson planning. So I threw my name in the hat, and much to my amazement, I landed the job. This could not have been a better place for me to start my journey of leading schools. This school still holds a special place in my heart because of the tough love it gave me as I cut my teeth on the principalship. One reason this was the perfect school for a budding school principal like me was the structure. The school consisted of several separate buildings, each of the main building housing its own assistant principal who functioned in the building as the principal. I was thrust eyebrow deep into the running of 6th grade building in every capacity. From student discipline to teacher evaluation, from student schedules to teacher placements, and from lunchtime activities to school fundraisers. The building assistant principals managed it all. And as a newbie, I had the ever-watchful eye of the principal who ensured I did not take a wrong turn or screw up something beyond repair. And then, several years later, I had the opportunity to lead a 3-5 building with over 500 students. By that time, I was well seasoned in the ins and outs of building culture, dealing with challenging teachers, and supporting parents who were less than satisfied with student discipline procedures. I had also mastered the appropriate time to sneak off to my car and go for a short ride. I had learned that kids have it tough and it takes more than moving mountains to advocate for them. I knew by then that some educators had long since given up on their dream to make a difference for kids. I had learned that this was the hardest job I would ever have. And I celebrated the small victories and knew this was the most rewarding. Now I'm blessed to work with school leaders around the world who are fighting to keep it together. They want to stay in a profession they have been called to, but they are struggling to find balance, to find peace, and to stay. Please join us for our next episode as we take a look at the responsibility the principal holds for building a positive school culture.